Hey everybody, it's Mergle, and today I wanted to make a video here about the things I think you should prep for 7.3 because 7.3 is probably coming this month, right? The 29th is the expected date. Maybe Blizzard decides to troll everybody and drop it on the 5th or something. But I highly doubt it, because Gamescom is coming soon. Gamescom is probably when they'll announce the trailer for 7.3. You know how Blizzard is, they want to be fashion and flashy and show off at all the big events and attract new people. That's what their plan is. So, Gamescom, that's when they're releasing the trailer, and then probably the 29th, they're going to give us Argus. But if you got a lot of stock of supplies saved up and things like that, I'm just going to tell you a few things I think you should drop off and just a couple stuff, right? So, Obliterum. Let's just start with Obliterum. Obliterum will keep a lot of its value, which means the value of old stuff will stay semi-steady. I know it's going to go down a lot, but Obliterum is required for the new gear because you make Primal Obliterum, which is combined with the new Blood of Sargeras stuff. It's Primal Sargerite. But anyways, let's just look at Jewelcrafting. Like, Jewelcrafting, for example, is getting all new gems that are 200 main stat, meaning the old 150 main stat is less appealing. I know it's only 50 stat increase, but 50 is more than nothing, right? So everybody's gonna go for the 200 main stat gems. 150 gems might get thrown in old pieces of gear, or gear that you're like, nah, I'm gonna replace it in a day or two, because the 150 stat gems are gonna be worth a lot less. But yeah, if you have huge stocks of 150 stat gems, start lowering them down, especially by like the 20th, I would say, because if they announce on the 22nd that they're releasing it on the 29th, you don't want to have a huge stock today and not be able to sell it all when it loses like 50% of its value and stuff. Just start dropping off everything if you got big supplies of it. Every profession is getting new recipes, so like the new gems there. They also had new Saber's Eyes. They seem to have removed these for the time being. Maybe they're trying to make it so Saber Eye had a utility, because the Saber Eyes that they had required 3 of each of the new gems, but not Saber Eye at all. And it still said Saber Eye Unique, and it was 250 in a stat with 188 off stat. So like 250 int, 188 crit. They were pretty powerful, but they didn't require Saber Eye at all. Maybe they didn't want Saber Eye to completely use its value, so maybe they're reworking it to do something like that. But again, Saber's Eye might keep its value simply for the fact that it may be used in that new recipe if they bring it back. I don't know yet. You know, a lot can change in the next couple weeks, but again, it looks like Saber's Eyes might be safe. So that's one of the things. Just like drop off gems. And another thing, like, look, you get helmets with Jewelcrafting, and they're 885 base, and this is where Obliterum, keeps its value, is because you combine it with this to make Primal Obliterum, which is probably going to be used to upgrade all of this new gear. And if it upgrades it 10 times to 935, that'll be a pretty powerful piece of gear, especially starting out and stuff. Also adding gem chips to it. I don't think gem chips got a lot of love, and it's nice that they're adding them as recipe ingredients to other stuff. But that's just another example. This is much superior to, any helmet piece you could buy right now, and gonna lose their value and stuff. Tailoring as well, just like any other profession. They're getting a new item as well. Like, just for the time being, it says only lightweight breeches. I imagine they're going to add more pieces, but it's only pants for now. But it doesn't require any of the old material aside from the 2 vendor bought things. It's Primal Sargerite and then Lightweave Cloth. So Lightweave Cloth is just the new cloth that is dropped on Argus off of random humanoids. Nothing of old material wise. So again, if you got a lot of imbued silk, for example, you want to drop that off. You don't want to have a big stock. And if you just can't happen to sell everything, maybe obliterating it will be efficient, because Obliterum, again, has a value when it comes to 7.3. You use it to make the new Obliterum. So we'll see with that. For cooking doesn't seem like it's going to change much. There's only one new cooking recipe as far as I can tell, and it's called Feast of the Fishes. And it looks like it would be great. Look how cheap it is to make. And you're like, wow, what does Feast of the Fishes do? But when you look at it, it says, eating you will obtain all of the powers of a fish. It seems like a troll item. And I'm pretty sure Keeper Rene, don't quote me on it, but I think he's the fishing guy that's coming with all the new fishing people that you have to be best buddies with. I think he's one of the new ones. Maybe not. He might already be an NPC there, but if he is, you know, I think it's just a troll feast that you mess with your friends with and stuff. You probably turn into a fish when you eat it or something ridiculous. Anyways, not really. Nothing else seems to change. It looks like everything else remained, you know, 375 food or the basic lavish Suramar feast still seem to be the valuable food items, which is good. So cooking, it doesn't look like you're going to have to really worry about your stock. If you got a bunch of that, it's only going to go back up as people, when the new raid releases, which new raid ain't releasing for at least, I'm going to say 15 to 20 weeks even from now. So don't worry about that happening anytime soon. But yeah, food, no big worry in that aspect. So just look at your stock of supplies you've got and things like that, and you might want to start just purging it and trying to run with pretty much nothing. It'll give you a lot of gold income right now before all the stuff loses its value, and then you have a big income for when the new stuff comes out if you want to buy into that, or, you know, get certain pieces, just things like that. Another thing you want to drop off, one of the oddest things I would say, but you want to get rid of pretty much all of your defiled augment runes. And just take a moment right now, think of all the defiled augment runes you've had, and then think of the cost, how much it's cost you to use all that. You know, you've got that number in your head, and I can tell you right now, I've probably used over 100,000, maybe 200,000 gold worth of augment runes in my time. And seems like a lot, right? But they are adding a permanent augment rune, so that means defiled augment runes aren't going to have as much value. So Army of the Light is one of the new rep vendors, and if you can see here, this is also the one that sells the Light Forged Warframe, which is the mount that a lot of people are after. Just an idea for you. So Light Forged Warframe, this thing, a lot of people are wanting that. It is from them, and when you get exalted, it should cost 400k. I think that price will stay, honestly. It starts at 500, but, you know, as you get reputation, prices go down. Should be 400k by the time you're exalted, and I do think it'll stay. A lot of people say that seems like a lot, but if you think about it, we've got a 2 million gold mount, so 400k isn't all that much. And then, again, the permanent augment rune should cost 40k once you're exalted. Sounds like a lot, but think back to that number. How many augment runes have you used? Those things cost 300 or 400 gold a pop. So have you used more than 100? You're over the 40k limit right there. I know you could say you get a lot of them yourself, things like that, which is true, of course. If you get them all by yourself, then obviously you're not paying for them, but this is a permanent one. So defiled augment runes probably going to go down to, I would say, in the 100 to 200 gold range. They're going to start selling it probably about that, maybe even less, because people will still sell them, but they have to be, you know, valuable enough that you say, oh, am I going to use this many, blah, 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 blah. So 40k permanent augment rune, just an idea to look out for. There's also Boon of the, I think it's this one over here, the Argusian Reach. It might have been that Boon of the Lightbearer, but I don't really remember which one's Primal Sargerite is.
Yes,
Argusian Reach, Boon of the Steadfast, Argonite Clusters. I'm not sure which one it is. It might have been this one over here. But that's the Argusian Reach. You can see they also provide a lot of mounts, by the way. So if you're a big mount collector, this is the new Talbuck vendor. Get 6 mounts once you're exalted. You can purchase here. It's just all of the Talbucks. But I think it's this Boon of the Lightbearer is the one you want to be on the lookout for Primal Sargerite. That might be it. Let me look at it here again real quick.
I serve the light.
obtain light's fortune from their enemy corpses of their enemies. It might be the other one. I think the Argusian Reach one is the Primal Sargerite one. So if you're going for that and you want to put the shoulder enchantment on, I'm pretty sure it's the Argusian Reach one. But again, permanent stone, so if you're on the lookout for that, might be worth the investment, especially if you use defiled augment runes all the time, things like that. Just another thing to look out for. You might want to drop your stock if you sell those or flip those by any means. And then finally, just one more vendor that you should be on the lookout and ready to use a whole bunch. It's the Relinquished vendor. That's what we know him as right now, but he moved onto the ship, and he sells 910 gear. This was 880, but they buffed it up to 910. It was probably just a bug because he's the same vendor, but anyways, 910 gear. So you can pick specific relinquished relics if you're after them. You don't have to RNG guess for it. You can pick whatever you need now. He also has a catch-up mechanic for followers. For 2,500 nether shards, you can purchase this Grimoire of Lost Knowledge, and it gives 6,000 XP to champions that you have in your order hall. So it's a catch-up mechanic for alts and stuff like that. Pretty good. Really fast XP for them. Obviously 2,500 nether shards is a decent chunk, but it's just a bonus catch-up mechanic if you need it. Now the items that you purchase it with, it's called Veiled Argonite. This is dropped by rares. It's dropped by world quests. Specific world quests offer it. And just pretty much anything you can do on Argus provides you with some form of Argonite. So I'll show you here, just a world quest for example. If we look at the Antoran Waste, I know there's one right here for 150 Veiled Argonite. So do 4 quests like that and then you're only 50 away. There are rares all over the world in Argus and stuff. They're pretty frequent, tons of rares. They're on a 24-hour reset limit, so they're kind of like Tan and Jungle, where you would kill a rare, next day kill the same rare. You could loot it again. That's how the rares work on Argus. You kill them, next day kill them again. They all drop Veiled Argonite, gotten anywhere between 15 to 25 Veiled Argonite from a single rare. So adds up pretty quick. Just to, you know, these 650 pieces won't be all that hard to obtain. So the 650 cost, I mean, won't be all that hard to obtain. Do a couple world quests, do a couple rare kills, boom, you've got a 910 piece. Pretty good, pretty good. There's of course invasions. You're gonna want to participate in those too as well. Just helps you out. Trust me, it's worth doing. And then the world quests give, like, look at that, an 890 piece. All of the stuff on Argus is account wide, so if you do all the stuff on your main, your alts can come and do these world quests and stuff. They can benefit just as much as your main. Blizzard really trying to help out alts, it seems. I know it sounds like they're not, because the Netherlight Crucible does require a very, very big time investment, but they are doing a lot to help alts. Like, artifact knowledge is getting increased every week and no effort required. And if you look there, it's artifact knowledge 47, 77 million%, which is almost 20 times what we're currently getting, and it scales much, much higher even than that once it reaches 55. If you look at the world quest right now that I would do, like, I could do this world quest to get 413 mil, 386 mil, 386 mil, just a lot of AP. Another thing, like, there will be chests that respawn, much like the Broken Shore. They just spawn all over the place. Go pick them up. They contain Veiled Argonite, and they also contain a lot of AP compared to most normal chests. Like, you know, now if you open a chest, you get like 2 million AP. The chests on Argus, okay, this is artifact power from a chest, 162 mil. This is a world quest, 482 mil. So a chest gave me a third of the artifact power that I would get from a world quest. Much better than they are currently, because a world quest right now could give you 26 mil, and then a chest would give you like 500k, 1 mil, 2 mil. It was crap, right? So they've really, really buffed chests. If you see one on your map, go pop it open. Those are just a couple of things I think you should prep for. You know, I've got quite a few ideas of what I want to make to come, I'm really excited. I'm pumped for Argus. But anyways, I hope this has been somewhat helpful. Again, just quick recap. If you're stocking up on stuff, go ahead and sell it off. Like, don't keep a huge stock once Argus comes live. It's not like when Nighthole came out or when Tumas Hargeras came out. They weren't adding new materials. Now they're adding everything new, so the old stuff isn't going to be worth that much. Be prepped for world quests, kill every rare you see, just slaughter everything that's in your path pretty much. There are achievements just for killing demons and things like that, so just be on a murderous rampage once 7.3 goes live. And just have fun. That's really it, you know. Enjoy. Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.